Hello ladies and gentlemen, can you see me? I'm in my camo today, all in my greens, my little flash of blue. Martin Pavey here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing great today. Today we're going to be talking about rethinking your world. Before we do that, please do like and subscribe and share to spread this very important message. I'm really coming to the conclusion, folks, that when people talk about knowledge, they're not really talking about knowledge, they're talking about belief. And the big difference between the two, a huge part of life is actually not learning things, it's unlearning things. Because we're all conditioned, we're all fallible, imperfect human beings. However, and this is a big thing about rethinking your world, is if there are people in your past, or quite honestly in your present, it's really worth considering, well, have these people helped me? Have they supported me in different ways? Have they been perfect? No, but it's really important to acknowledge the positive things in your life where people have supported you, because if for no other reason, we all need help at certain times of life, and it's never too late to be able to be the best version of yourself. And part of being the best version of yourself is acknowledging when you have had help, so that you can attract and focus upon that positive and powerful energy that has helped to carry you forward, you know? So I've been, for the last couple of days, I've allowed my sleep pattern to be completely fucked, really have. But a lot of things have been coming up, you know, emotional issues and psychological issues, and really thinking about the people in my life, which I will admit, the amount of people who are in my life is not that many. And when I think about my family, I know that despite the fact that we've communicated in very, very different ways, but I know fundamentally that my family have the absolute best in mind for me. But the thing is, you have to be able to learn to distinguish, and this is part of your relearning, if you like. Because we're born into a family, we have parents who have us, and that fundamentally, you know, dictates huge swathes and sections of your life. But we always think about parents, as siblings, and only those things exclusively. But, and this is the big but, I like big buts and I cannot lie, they're people. They're people, and it's something that a lot of people don't acknowledge. They're human beings as well, and they have what you might call their selfish desires. They want the world to work in a way that works for them, and sometimes that will be at odds with the way that you, just like them, that you want the world to work in the way for you. And that's where a lot of clashes come together, you know? Well, where clashes happen. So you have to, and this is going to sound a bit big-headed and pompous, but if you're going to have a peaceful life and a productive life where you get the things done that you want to get done, you have to decide to be the bigger person and separate the wheat from the chaff. It's a very English phrase. You have to decide what's important. And this is something that, my God, honestly, I can't even tell you, this is something that I've really struggled with in my life. Because I've been blessed and cursed, I've said this many times, with an incredible memory. And it is really difficult for me to let things go, because they keep resurfacing. Because I do have this kind of freakish memory. Because I've always been looking for patterns, and I've always been scanning for threats, I'll be honest. And it's a quite egotistical and negative way to live. But because the fact that you're alive, no matter how old you are, you're still here, that means that good things have happened to you. You might have to, depending on your circumstances, you might have to dig really, really deep to find the positive aspects of your life. But I guarantee you there are, because, well, if you're still alive, if you're able to walk around, that means that you're fit and healthy to some degree. You've not starved to death, so you've been fed and you've had a roof over your head, you know? You've got to be willing. I think willingness is something that's really, really lacking. Everybody just wants, well, I say everybody, a lot of people just want things to go their way, no questions asked, and you have just got to accept it. Well, the thing is, you have to learn to do that for your own circumstances. You have to be able to appreciate the good things that have happened to you and the people who have bestowed those good things upon you. I've always felt in my life, no matter how dire my circumstances, I've always maintained the view. And maybe it's just something that I've decided to do for survival. I don't know. But I've always felt that I've been lucky. And the more that I tell myself that, and the more that I just go out and do things, I have been lucky. You know, you create your own luck. But it has to come from you. You have to remember that most people are really, really just struggling to get through every single day and try and make life as good as possible and get their own way. And there is a selfishness to human beings, because we're living in an age, you know, our brains are really attuned to living in quite small groups and not the many, many millions of people that we're surrounded by. It's a big reason why I came back up here, to be able to breathe, you know, the fresh air and be out in the expanse of nature, to actually, well, to find myself, you know, to reconnect with who I really am. And there are times that I think about getting on the train and going to London, not that often, but a few times. And then I think, well, that was a stage of my life that I needed to go through. And now I'm in a different position. I'm in a very, very different position. And wherever you are, be there. Immerse yourself in it. You know, be part of the community in some kind of way, even if it, like it happens here, say hello to people as you're walking along the street, and most people, the vast majority, say hello back. And you have to create positive focal points in order to start embodying the things that you want for your life as a whole. And again, it's up to you. Sometimes we can feel very antagonistic against the world, but that's something else that we need to train ourselves out of. Train yourself into being the peaceful person that you ultimately want to be. And it's incremental, it's step by step. There's stepping stones all the way through life, and every single thing that you've done is a part of you, is part of your story. And at any given decision, this is another thing. This is something to a lot of people feel regretful or that they've made mistakes. But what I'm really starting to do, and it's not easy, but whenever you make a decision, okay, whenever you make a decision, the plane is coming for me. Whenever you make a decision, at that moment in time, you only know what you know right then. So regrets and feeling like you've made mistakes is completely pointless. Water under the bridge. Everything has been done. What you have to do is to respond in a way that you won't make destructive decisions. I'm not saying that there aren't destructive decisions, but you were only basing your your thought process was what it was at that time, and you can only make decisions based on what you know. And regret and feeling like you've made mistakes is psychologically trying to go back in time and rewrite history, and you can't do it. And all you end up doing, because all of the decisions that you've made are fundamentally a part of you, part of your fabric, whenever you have regrets, what you're actually doing to yourself psychologically is saying that you shouldn't be a particular way because of a decision that you made maybe months or years or decades ago. You're fundamentally, by saying you have regrets, you're fundamentally attacking yourself. And that's not going to do you any good. You only knew what you knew then, and judging it retrospectively based on what you know now is a fool's errand. Pointless, completely pointless. So stop doing it. Start acting in a way like you care for yourself. Start acting in a way that allows you to let things go and live your life as beautifully and as powerfully as you possibly can. And very few do it because you have to admit that you're not in exactly the position that you want to be in necessarily, but you have to start counting your blessings. What are the good things that have happened in your life? Retrain your brain to focus on the positive, and just do it. Just do it. Allow yourself one day of thinking of all the fabulous things that you've done and all the great things that have happened to you in your life. And believe me, they are many. They are many. But you have to, it's like with the tests where somebody will put a picture, a photograph up online or wherever, and they'll say, right, this picture, you form a perception of it the minute that you look at it based on your own conditioning. And then they'll say, right, look at this picture again and find all the red in it. Oh, well, there isn't any red in this picture. And then you look at it again and all you can see is red, 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 red. That's what you have to do. And believe me, you'll colour in your life like a beautiful painting. Make of it what you will. Be the creator of your own destiny. And stop feeling resentful. I hold my hands up. I hold my hands up enormously, because I've been resentful. I have. And I've only hurt myself. All the people I'm feeling resentful against haven't got a fucking clue what I'm saying. But in a way, when you're feeling resentful or regretful or despairing about your life, that's the world that you're creating for yourself and everybody around you. So be the powerful, positive force in the world, because, and this is the really important point, you have infinitely more potential and power and influence in the world than you can possibly believe. Understand and know the good things that you've done, and be a positive force for good. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Martin Pavey, and I really appreciate all of you being here. Please do like and subscribe and share to spread this very important message, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now, folks.